What it means to be dangerously smart. Some people walk into a room and instantly notice what everyone else overlooks. They aren't just intelligent. They're dangerously intelligent. They read intentions behind smiles. They spot patterns behind excuses. They stay steady while everyone around them reacts. Most people go through life half asleep, believing words, missing red flags, letting emotions steer their decisions. But the Stoics understood a sharper, darker truth. The world rewards those who think with clarity, see reality as it is, and refuse to let impulse or illusion hijack their mind. And here's the difficult part. When you become this sharp, you stop being easy to manipulate. That alone makes you dangerous. Dangerous to lies. Dangerous to confusion. Dangerous to anyone who benefits from your blindness. Today, you're going to learn 8 ruthless Stoic lessons that turn you into someone who cannot be fooled, controlled, or underestimated again. If you're ready to see the world differently, and yourself differently, let's begin. Lesson 1. People reveal themselves through patterns. People expose themselves through their patterns. Trust what you see. People don't hide who they are, they repeat it. That's the first rule of becoming dangerously smart. Watching what someone does is far more reliable than believing what they say. Most people cling to words because they're comforting, hopeful, flattering. But patterns? Patterns are cold. They are honest. They never lie. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius observed that human behavior follows predictable lines, and once you recognize those lines, little in life will shock you. This is why dangerously smart people rarely feel betrayed. Not because the world is pure, but because they were paying attention long before the betrayal arrived. Think about it. Someone disrespects you once, that's an incident. Twice, that's a signal. 3 times, that's their identity. Human beings are incredibly consistent. The friend who cancels every time. The partner who apologizes but never changes. The coworker who remembers their wins and forgets yours. The person who makes jokes at your expense to feel powerful. These aren't accidents. They're patterns showing you the blueprint of their character. Dangerously smart people don't get angry at patterns. They learn from them. They adjust. They set boundaries. They step back. They stop expecting growth from people who refuse to grow. And here's the Stoic twist. A person's pattern is never about you. It's about their internal world. Your job isn't to fix it. Your job is to recognize it. When you stop arguing with someone's repeated behavior, your life becomes calmer and clearer. You stop taking things personally. You stop clinging to potential. You stop giving endless chances. Instead of asking, why did they do this? You start asking, why did I allow this to continue? This shift alone elevates your intelligence. Once you learn to read patterns, you see people as they truly are, not as they claim to be. And that makes you dangerously smart. Lesson 2. Comfort weakens the mind. Comfort weakens the mind. Discomfort sharpens it. Comfort feels pleasant, but it slowly makes you blind, slow, and predictable. If lesson 1 teaches you to see others clearly, this one teaches you to see yourself clearly. Nothing strong or sharp grows in comfort. Comfort shields you from pain, but it also shields you from growth, clarity, and the kind of intelligence that makes you untouchable. The Stoics knew this without question. Seneca warned that an easy life creates a fragile mind. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to expect difficulty each morning, not because he wanted to suffer, but because he knew discomfort fortifies judgment. Comfort dulls instincts. It weakens discipline. It makes you overreact to tiny issues and ignore the major ones. A comfortable person becomes predictable, easy to control with fear, routine, or emotion. But the person who chooses discomfort, they grow sharper, calmer, stronger. Think of anyone you admire. They didn't become powerful by choosing ease. They stepped into the cold, the difficult, the uncertain. If you always avoid discomfort, you also avoid the truth about your limits, your weaknesses, your potential. And the only way to uncover that truth is through friction. Discomfort isn't just physical. It's emotional, mental, psychological. Asking the question no one wants to ask. Saying no when your voice shakes. Having the conversation you've been avoiding. Choosing long-term growth over instant relief. Taking accountability when nobody is watching. Every time you choose discomfort, you expand your perception. You build discipline. You become resistant to chaos. Discomfort isn't punishment. It's preparation. Life hits everyone with difficulty eventually. The comfortable collapse. Dangerously smart people don't. They're trained for storms, not just sunny days. When you stop worshiping comfort, you unlock a level of resilience and intelligence most people never reach. Lesson 3. Emotions pull the strings. Logic decides the action. Emotions are powerful, but the moment they decide your actions, you stop being intelligent and start being controlled. Most people equate intelligence with what they know. Dangerously smart people define intelligence by what they can resist. The Stoics knew this long before psychology did. You cannot be wise if your emotions run the show. Emotion is the spark. Logic is the steering wheel. You need both, but in the right order. When anger takes over, you misjudge people. When fear dominates, you shrink from challenges. When insecurity rises, you hand others power. When envy burns, you measure your worth by someone else's life. In these moments, you're not choosing, you're reacting. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They were emotionally disciplined. Marcus Aurelius felt frustration and betrayal, but he paused before responding. That pause, that gap between stimulus and reaction, is where real intelligence lives. Dangerously smart people cultivate that gap. They practice the sacred pause, a few seconds where emotion burns hot, but action stays still. In that stillness, logic steps in. Clarity replaces impulse. Try this. When someone disrespects you, don't fire back. When jealousy hits, don't spiral. When fear rises, don't retreat. Pause. Breathe. Observe. Ask, what does this emotion want me to do? And will that action serve me? Emotions carry information, not instructions. Anger signals something's off, but you choose the response. Fear signals danger, but you determine if it's real. Sadness shows something matters, but you choose how to move forward. Dangerously smart people don't suppress emotions, they supervise them. Emotional self-mastery makes you calm in conflict, strategic in chaos, and impossible to manipulate. The moment logic leads and emotion follows, you stop being a puppet and become dangerously smart. Lesson 4. Everyone protects their advantage. Always watch incentives. People don't act from morality first, they act from advantage. Forget this, and you become easy to manipulate. One of the greatest mistakes intelligent people make is assuming others think like they do. Fair, honest, reasonable. Dangerously smart people know better. The Stoics recognized long ago that human behavior is repeatedly driven by self-interest, sometimes innocent, sometimes strategic, but always present. Everyone is protecting something. Their image, comfort, pride, wounds, status, or advantage. Once you start asking, what are they trying to preserve? Their actions make perfect sense. The coworker who downplays your success fears losing relevance. The friend who appears only when they need something is protecting convenience, not connection. The one who flatters you endlessly wants access or approval. Even kindness can be strategic. This isn't cynicism, it's clarity. The Stoics taught that wisdom comes from understanding why people act, not just what they do. People betray promises. They betray appearances. They betray commitments. But incentives? They stay loyal to those. Dangerously smart people don't get fooled by charm, guilt, pressure, or performance. They watch motives, not words. Once you see incentives clearly, relationships become simple, decisions become sharper, and life gets easier. Understanding human self-interest makes you perceptive and dangerously smart. Lesson 5. Most people can't face the truth about themselves. Most people avoid the psychological mirror. Truth feels like confrontation, not clarity. Dangerously smart people understand this early. People don't get angry at you. They get angry at the version of themselves you reveal. You've seen it. Point out an inconsistency, they call you harsh. Set a boundary, they say you're selfish. Highlight a pattern, they make you the villain. Not because you're wrong, but because the truth shatters their self-story. Humans cling to narratives that protect their ego. I'm self-aware. I'm a good partner. I'm reasonable. Anything that threatens these identities feels like an attack. Stoicism teaches that wisdom begins with self-honesty. Marcus Aurelius journaled to confront the parts of himself needing discipline or humility. Most people avoid even the smallest truth about themselves. Here's the paradox. Tell someone a truth they haven't accepted yet, and they won't feel grateful. They'll feel exposed. So dangerously smart people watch reactions. Not words, reactions. Deflection, blame, minimizing, defensiveness. These reveal emotional maturity more accurately than anything a person claims. Your job is not to wake people up. Your job is to stay awake. Don't argue with people's denial. Don't beg them to grow. Don't waste truth on the unprepared. Once you accept that most people can't face their own reflection, you stop taking their reactions personally. You gain peace, clarity, and a deeper understanding of human nature, making you dangerously smart. Lesson 6. Success creates resentment. Success has a cost. The moment you rise, someone will resent it, not because you harmed them, but because your growth highlights their stagnation. Most people love the idea of success, applause, admiration, recognition, but not the jealousy, insecurity, or distance it creates. Dangerously smart people accept this early. Success isn't only about what you gain, it's about what is exposed. Your discipline exposes someone's excuses. Your courage exposes someone's fear. Your peace exposes someone's chaos. People don't resent your success. They resent the reflection it casts. Marcus Aurelius wrote that walking the path of virtue disturbs those who prefer comfort or mediocrity. Dangerously smart people don't dim themselves to keep others comfortable. They don't shrink to avoid jealousy. They simply observe the shift. Watch how people react when you win. Some celebrate you. Some go silent. Some search for flaws. Some downplay your progress. Some pretend not to notice. These reactions don't define you. They reveal them. As you evolve, protect your goals, your energy, your peace. Not everyone who started with you can continue with you. Some were meant for versions of you that no longer exist. Success will cost you people, but it gives you yourself, and that trade is worth it. Lesson 7. Someone is always selling you something. The world runs on transactions. Someone is always selling you something. Attention, validation, loyalty, influence, access, comfort, or a version of themselves they want you to believe. Dangerously smart people understand the hidden economy behind interactions. Once you see the exchange beneath the surface, you stop being fooled. Most people think relationships are pure and motives are obvious. But the Stoics knew better. Seneca wrote that people often act out of advantage, not virtue. Look around. The coworker praising you? They might be securing your support. The friend who vents nonstop? They're selling you emotional labor. The flirt who won't commit? They're selling a fantasy. The mentor giving opportunities? They may want loyalty or access. Even family can sell guilt, obligation, or identity roles. The question isn't good or bad. The question is, what is the cost, and do you want to pay it? Dangerously smart people ask, what is this person getting from me? What am I getting from them? Is this exchange fair or draining? What unspoken contract am I participating in? Understanding these dynamics stops you from overgiving, being guilt-tripped, or exchanging your peace for nothing. And here's the Stoic twist. You're selling something too: your time, energy, presence, boundaries, self-respect. Know their value, because people will take them for free. This awareness doesn't make you cold. It makes you conscious, and consciousness makes you dangerously smart. Lesson 8. Remember death. Live fully. Life ends faster than you think. Mortality makes you wise. Nothing sharpens perception like realizing time isn't guaranteed. Most people live as if life is something they can postpone: dreams, conversations, decisions, identity. But the Stoics called this the greatest illusion. Seneca wrote that we are dying a little each day, not to frighten us, but to wake us. Dangerously smart people don't fear death. They use its awareness as a filter. When you remember death, everything petty loses importance. Toxic people lose influence. Fear of judgment fades. Procrastination feels absurd. Pretending becomes tiring. Suddenly, honesty matters more. Growth matters more. Peace matters more. The people who love you rise. The ones who drain you fall away. Memento mori, remember you will die, isn't dark. It's liberating. Because when you let death sit beside you, you stop living halfway. You make the call you've been avoiding. You leave the job that kills your spirit. You take the risk you've postponed for years. You forgive, or you walk away. You stop waiting to become the person you want to be. You cannot control when death arrives, but you can decide what kind of person it finds. Will it find you unfinished and full of regret? Or awake, disciplined, aligned with your values? Dangerously smart people choose the second path. They live with urgency, not panic. With intention, not chaos. Life is shorter than you think. But lived with purpose, it's more than enough. Outro and final message. You've just passed through 8 ruthless Stoic lessons. 8 lenses that reveal the world as it truly is. You learned that people reveal themselves through patterns, comfort dulls your mind, emotions pull the strings until you take the reins, and self-interest shapes behavior. You learned that most people can't face the truth. Success creates resentment. Every interaction is a transaction, and life is far shorter than you imagine. This isn't just information. It's transformation if you apply it. So pick one lesson. Apply it today, not tomorrow. Today. Observe a pattern without falling for old fantasies. Choose one moment of discomfort. Pause before reacting. Evaluate someone's incentive. Protect your peace when success triggers jealousy. Say no where you once said yes. Or remind yourself, your time is not infinite. The person who practices Stoicism becomes dangerously smart. Not through force, but through clarity. Not through ego, but mastery. Not by controlling others, but by controlling themselves so deeply that nothing external can disturb their inner world. Thank you for being here, for thinking deeply, for choosing growth in a world that rewards comfort. If this video sparked something within you, like, subscribe, and comment. I choose clarity over illusion. Now take what you learned and live it.